What's up? How's everybody doing today, dude? All right, so on this episode slash, you know, show, video of the newest Dragon Quest Poppy podcast, I wanted to basically rank all of the mainline Dragon Quest games from worst to best. Um, so I've already done my top 5 favorite Dragon Quest games from the mainline series, but I haven't done all of them yet. So I'm gonna do all of them now. I know I've ranked all of them on like a tier list. Those videos are on my channel, so check them out if you want. But this one is basically me just going through the games from worst to best. Now, full disclosure, I have very unpopular opinions. So just get ready to bring out your pitchforks and everything, because I know for a fact people will not agree with my list. If you've seen my top 5 favorite games, you already know you will not agree with my list. But anyways, let's just get into this. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. And let's start with my number 10. So I'm going to exclude Dragon Quest X from the list. Actually, you know what? This is from worst to best. Okay, number 11 is Dragon Quest X, only because I haven't played it. So that's kind of like, yeah, there you go. Okay, so number 10 is, excuse me. Number 10 is, and again, I know this is so unpopular, but here we go. What? Dragon Warrior 3 / Dragon Quest 3? So, I just want to hold on. Seriously, guys, please don't get mad at me. Actually, it's fine. If you're mad at me already, just comment down below. I get it. I really do. This game is on so many people's top 5, even top 3 favorite game of the Dragon Quest series. I know. I 100% get it. This game itself was like, this is when Dragon Quest in Japan, when this game came out, I'm talking about the original SNES version, by the way. This is a picture of the Game Boy Color version. But when the original Dragon Quest came out in Japan, this is when the series truly became like massive, like absolutely crazy. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, they were successful in Japan, but when this came out in Japan, the SNES version, Super Famicom, it was crazy, insane. This game, Dragon Quest 3 for the SNES, again, I just want to clarify, was one of the top 10 selling games of all time. I think it still is, or it just recently got dethroned, something like that. But it was insane. It was just insane. And in the community itself, especially for the old time fans, I know this game is like, like untouchable. Like this is nostalgia. This is just childhood. Like this is just crazy. But I'm sorry. What I'm trying to get to is, I'm sorry, but this game is just not it for me. So, again, and to clarify, I don't hate this game. I love this game. It's not like it's the worst one in my opinion of the ones I've played. Now, this game is ranked higher in my tier list video, but I actually enjoy other games more than this one, which is kind of weird. I know, I get it. It's weird. I'm just trying to make you guys understand how much I understand how weird this is. I get it, okay? Okay, so let's put all that noise aside. So, the reason why this game is the last one is, I mean, and for obvious reasons, but there's no connection to your characters that you actually play with, you know. The hero, yes, there's a connection to, but the whole point of like having like your hero and a party is for your party to help kind of elevate what the hero is going through dialogue, through cutscenes, through situations, stuff like that. And I get it. This game, especially with a character creation game, you kind of become your own party members or make your own party members. But in this game, the party members are all like preset, so you're not really making your own party members. Because, for example, when you're a priest, male priest, you look like a very specific male priest. And when you change to a mage, you look completely different. So you can name them all different names and even pretend like they're your family or friends or people like that. But at the end of the day, they don't necessarily really look like whoever you named them as, if that makes sense. They've already got preset like appearances. And this is not like necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it doesn't make me connect to the characters that much, if that makes sense. So, anyway, so there's that. The game itself is fun. The world is massive. It's big. It's, you know, it's very alive, especially all the different cities and towns you go to. They've got their different accents in English, right? And their different like styles and stuff like that, which is fun, you know. But it's the first of its kind to do that sort of thing. You know, the later games do it better, obviously. I mean, they're going to improve with every iteration or every, game that comes out. But this one, again, great game, but it's just, I don't know. Like, the other thing that brings it down for me quite a bit is like the end game stuff, especially in this version. It's pretty unfair, and especially like, for example, what I'm trying to say is like there's some enemies at the end game stuff when you're getting to like the post game stuff where it's like it's kind of unfair how they can just wipe your whole party out. It just kind of sucks. And then just grinding in this game is pretty hardcore. Like, it's pretty hard. And then like the world itself, honestly, I got lost a lot. I know there's the whole like look up a guide sort of thing, which I'm a big believer of. But even then, like, I would be legitimately lost. I didn't know where I was at sometimes when I'd go back and play it. So if you're not playing this game like all like from start to finish right away in like one or two or three or four sittings, then and you play like I do, where you play like, you know, maybe a little bit one day and then a little bit the next day and then put it down for a week, play it again, then get super into it for another day, you know, but then you put it down again and then it's like months later until you pick it up again. Like, you know, you just get kind of lost in like where you're at, where you're at in the story. I remember when I actually beat Dragon Warrior 3, this version, which was my second playthrough of this game. The first playthrough I played on the mobile. I came back after a while and I was so lost. I was like, okay, how many orbs do I have? Which ones do I have? Which ones, like, where do I get? You know, it was just confused. It was just kind of like confusing to like retrace your steps, sort of thing. And you can make the argument that's the case with all the games if you don't play them for a while. But anyways, it just this one feels like you get lost more, is basically what I'm trying to say. But yeah, still great game. I absolutely love this game. Cannot wait for the 2D HD remake to come out. But yeah, this is my number 10 game. So let's move on to the next one before I keep just talking about this one all night. So yeah, so my number 9 is the following. Bam! This probably makes more sense to be low on the list, but maybe it's kind of weird being higher than Dragon Warrior 3 or Dragon Quest 3. So I actually love this game. This game is actually really fun for me. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. I put it lower on my tier list video because I understand that it has pretty big flaws. And I don't know, but for me personally, I actually enjoy this game more than I do 3. So again, I know that's a controversial comment, but it's just the truth. It's a shorter game, so that helps. But I really enjoy the Prince of Canuck, the Princess of Moonbrook. The story's great. Hargon is a great villain. You know, the combat is just fine. Like, I've only played the mobile version and the Game Boy Color version. So anytime I got to the Cave of Roan, I know it has significantly improved, like the difficulty spike with, these versions of the games compared to the NES version. And so I haven't never experienced like a crazy unfair type of, version of this game, which I can only imagine would be frustrating as hell. But what I've experienced wasn't that bad. Because I love to grind. So when I'd get to those sections, sure, there's a difficulty spike, but it wasn't so crazy where it just like it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like I still loved it. I think I grind a little bit more when I get to that point. I know to grind. But it was never like unfair. And also, I've never had the Prince of Canuck like be useless for me. Like my whole party was useful. Like I don't know, because that's like a meme with this game, right? Prince of Canuck always dies. Like there's some really funny like memes about it, I will admit, but he just gets so much crap for no reason, Like he's really not that bad. Like it's literally a joke that like if he sleeps at the inn before you fight Hargon, he like gets sick and becomes useless unless you get an Yggdrasil leaf. I get it, but still, it's a fun game. I enjoy it quite a bit more than a lot of people, or at least that's what it seems like sometimes. But anyways, fantastic game. And my number 9. So, yeah. Let's move on to number 8, which is this one. Okay, Dragon Quest 1 or Dragon Warrior 1. So, this was when I really got into the series, this was the first game I played in the series. And I freaking love this game, dude. It's a classic game. It's super fast, super quick, and it just gets straight to the point. There's not much story. I mean, there is, but there's not much depth to the story or the characters or anything. But it's a great game nonetheless. Fantastic, classic combat and graphics and all that. And again, it's really short. But I thoroughly enjoy this game. I love this game very, very much. And I think it's a fantastic game. That's why it's number 8 on the list. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about that besides that, really. So I love this game. This is a great game. Number 8 on the list. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Number 7 on the list. So, for those people that have not watched my top 5 favorite Dragon Quest games, this might be a shock to everyone. What? All right. So yes, Dragon Quest 4 is my number 7. No, yeah, 7 favorite game. Again, I know this is kind of weird, because this is another game that's a lot of people's favorites, or in their top 5 or top 3 favorite games. This game is great. I'm currently replaying it right now. First time I played it was on the DS, and this second time I'm playing it on mobile. And I'm in chapter 6 right now, and I'm having a great time. I'm absolutely loving this game. But this is just number 7. So all the other games I love more than this one. But this game, it's a great game. It's fantastic. Great graphics. Amazing cast of characters. And story is fantastic. But it just doesn't vibe with me as much as the other games do. Again, it's a great game. I love it. And that's the thing too. Like, think about it this way. Like, for me personally, I'm a newer fan, so I don't have any like nostalgia towards any of these games. I really don't, which I think is a huge factor in a lot of people's like when they rank these games. I think that's a big factor into why they put 3 in their top 5 or top 3 or whatever. Maybe it's not, but I just feel like that might be the case. I suffer huge problems with nostalgia as well, and I can recognize there's a lot of games that are like my favorite games or better than most people think purely due to nostalgia. But anyways, great game. Love this game. Love the cast. Great story. All of that stuff. All of the above. But it's just here on the list. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay. Number 6 on the list. And again, get your pitchforks ready. I can't really see. I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. Hand of the Heavenly Bride, Dragon Quest V. What? Number 6 is Dragon Quest V? And again, I know this is a lot of people's favorite game. Legit, a lot of people's favorite game. Or at least in their top 5 or top 3. But for me, it's number 6. So, fantastic game. Love the graphics. Love the story. Love the whole aspect of how much it focuses on family. Love the replayability aspect of this game where you can literally, marry each different woman every time. Your kids will have different hair color every time, which is great, depending on the wife you choose. And yeah, I can't wait to replay this game because after I finish 4 on mobile, I'm going to play this on mobile. And I'm really, really excited about that. But this game sits on number 6 spot. Again, great game. I really don't have any complaints. It's just that I love the other games more. That's really it. Like, that's really it. Like, I have nothing bad to say about this game. Yeah, I just don't. It's just that I like the other games, better. That are on top 5 and up. Anyways, so yeah, that was it for Dragon Quest V. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Again, it's super unpopular opinion, I know. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, number 5. And my top 5 favorite games have not changed so far. I did say in my top 5 favorite games video that they're subject to change because it depends on what I remember. Sometimes I remember this or forget that or blah, blah, blah. But as of now, my top 5 is still the same. Dragon Quest VI, my number 5 favorite game. So in terms of the Zenithian trilogy, I will admit it probably has the weakest story. But I love this cast of characters. This game itself has the best graphics out of all 3, which makes sense. It's the latest in the DS remakes, and the biggest reason why this is on my top 5 and I like it more than the other Zenithian trilogy games is because of the vocation system. I love vocations. You guys should all know that by now if you watch any of my videos, but I love vocation grinding. I'm addicted to it. I love it so much. And so because of that alone, it elevates this game um, to be my favorite out of the Zenithian trilogy. Again, love this the aspect to it's like another progression system that they have added besides levels, and it's just, I love it. Vocations are amazing, and this game did it so good, so right. So yeah, and besides that, again, incredibly beautiful graphics, great cast of characters, super underrated characters as well. I feel like Ashlyn, for example, is always like nobody ever talks about how beautiful or how much of a waifu Ashlyn is. She is waifu material. Well, maybe not waifu material, but she's really cute and super underrated as a waifu. Maybe not the best waifu was what I'm trying to say, but she's still super underrated. Anyways, great cast of characters. This is my favorite hero out of all the heroes in terms of appearance wise. And yeah, that's basically it for this game. So yeah, let's move on to number 4. I was hoping there's some tissues here or something, but there isn't. So let's just deal with it. Okay. My number... Oh, shoot. I just realized I don't have a picture for my number 4 spot. That's okay. I'll have to use a thumbnail. Oh, my gosh. Where is the thumbnail? Where is the thumbnail? Oh my gosh, I don't have any pictures for it. Sorry, guys. Just swallowing all my freaking boogers. Where is it? I should have a thumbnail of this game. Is it? No, that's not it. Wow. I legit don't have anything. This is really sad. Okay, well, we're just going to have to deal with it. I'm so sorry about this, guys, but basically my number 4 is Dragon Quest 9. So, yeah, it's Dragon Quest 9. Oh, God. Let's just erase this for now. So, yeah, my number 4 spot is Dragon Quest 9. So, I love Dragon Quest 9. It's a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. Gorgeous graphics for when it came out, when it did. And I love that there's just so many good things about Dragon Quest 9. The story itself is probably not the best story in the series. It's probably one of the... Well, it's not bad either. But the biggest things I like about this game is the character creation is really good. It's not like the most extensive character creator, but it's good enough to where you can really make your characters look the way you want them to look and appear like people that you know and love. Vocations are pretty good. It's not my least favorite way they did vocations, but it's my second least favorite. My first least favorite is Dragon Quest 3, and then this one is my second least favorite way they did vocations. But it's still not bad. The game has a lot of grinding. It's a game you could play for a really, really long time because it's got a lot of content in this game. Obviously at this point it's naturally getting access to the DLC stuff is impossible unless you do other ways, use other tactics, which there are ways to do that, which are not that hard. If you're doing it through your DS or if you're just emulating, there's ways to get DLC, which is not, again, it's not super hard. But the aspect as well of like your character always changing like his appearance or her appearance depending on the armor that you're wearing or the outfit that you're wearing or the whatever it is that you put on, it actually shows it, um, is awesome. I love that as well. It gives more personality and more style to your character, to make them look like exactly what you want. And the combat is actually really fun. I very much enjoy the combat in this game. But yeah, but all those things give it such a big boost, that like that's why it's my number 4 favorite game. So yeah, so that's basically it. But yeah, sorry I didn't have a picture for you guys for that one. Oh my gosh, and I'm so sorry. I'm just full of boogers right now. Just congested so bad. All right, my number 3 favorite game is this one. I just realized my number 1 favorite game didn't save, but that's okay because I have a lot of pictures. My number 3 favorite game is Dragon Quest 7. All right. So I know this is a very huge, unpopular opinion, but I love this game. This is a great game. It's super long. I get that. It's basically a meme at this point. Well, it is a meme at this point that this game is stupid long. But I really like this game. And I'm going to say right off the bat, this is probably my least favorite party out of all the mainline Dragon Quest games. The only character I really, 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 really love in this party is Ruff or Gabbo. But yeah, but everyone else just is lame. And this is probably my least favorite hero as well. But the thing I love about this game is the vocations. So it gives the characters a little bit more personality because it's basically where like Dragon Quest 6 had the vocations, but Dragon Quest 7 has the vocations, but also your appearance actually changes depending on the vocation you assign your characters. And like it's just cool, it's awesome. And again, and where Dragon Quest 6 did a really good job with vocations, this game for me personally like perfected it. Yeah, and so I loved that aspect to this game because again, the moment I unlocked vocations, I was addicted to this game. Addicted to it. So addicted to it. I lost the amount of hours I played this game where I was just basically grinding through the story just to grind vocation sort of thing. I grinded so much that I basically the last portion of the game was not hard at all, and Ogrodemir was a joke. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. Allergies are killing me right now. So yeah, again, I love this game. Fantastic game. Love the vocations. Love vocation grinding. Decent story, especially in the later part where you actually learn about the truth of the world and like Ogrodemir and all that stuff and who you are and blah blah blah. It's really dope. So anyways, can't wait to replay this game again, and actually like download the DLC tablets and stuff because they're still available, and I hope they're forever available. But anyways, great game. All right, my number 2 favorite game. Oh gosh, is Dragon Quest 8. So obviously this gives away my number 1, but let's just talk about this game like nobody knows what my number 1 is. Okay, Dragon Quest 8. I know this game is a lot of people's favorite game. And again, top 5, top 3 favorite game in the series. And I totally understand it. I totally agree. This cast of characters is incredible. One of the best in the series. And then this version of this game is my favorite because of the additional content. Not all of the additional content I like. Some of it is really stupid. But I just don't do it, and that's it. But the additional content, the majority of it, is incredible. Um, and then besides that, excuse me, sorry, I'm just messed up right now. Um, Story's fantastic. Characters are fantastic. Um, the like not vocations, they took a different route, which is totally fine. This is like the like beta or alpha version of how Dragon Quest XI did their um, like classes or vocations. But instead of vocations or classes, they focus on weapon types and like have like skill trees with weapons, which is awesome. It's an awesome way of doing it. And yeah, this was like the first variation of that. And they did a great job, honestly. They did a fantastic job with that. Um, Dragon Quest XI perfected it, but this game did a really good job as being the first one to do it. Um, and yeah, technically oh yeah, it is the first one because Dragon Quest IX also did it. But anyways, um, yeah, this game is awesome. This game is fantastic. I think it's the first game to introduce the alchemy pot, which is also cool because you can craft items, you can make better items, and yeah, it's just a great game overall. Overall, an incredible game, just absolutely fantastic, and I freaking love it. That's why it's my number 2 favorite game. So yeah. Um, yeah, let's talk about number 1. So number 1 obviously is Dragon Quest XI. So let me go ahead and get a picture of Dragon Quest XI. I know I've got one. I've got like locations at least. I don't know why they didn't save when I saved it, but I think this one's the one with the hero in it. Yeah, we'll just use this picture. That's fine. Okay. Oh gosh, Dragon Quest XI. Oh, whoa. So, Dragon Quest XI is incredible. I love it, and I think my wife got here. Anyways, um, this is my favorite game in the series by a lot. Well, okay, I don't want to say by a lot, but it's my favorite game in the series. Um, it's my favorite cast of characters, my favorite party. Again, it perfected what Dragon Quest VIII did with weapons, and like the skill trees for the weapons. Um, the story is incredible, absolutely incredible. Um, it's a little long, I get it, and it's also kind of weird because honestly, it should have probably ended at Act 2, but when Act 2 ended, which would have been a perfect way to end the game, but Act 3 for me it kind of feels like an expansion to the story, but like that's part of the game, if that makes sense. And so for me personally, Act 3 is great. I love it. Although I will admit it probably should have ended at Act 2, but I see Act 3 as like an expansion to the story, not necessarily like, I don't know. Yeah, because this game plays around with time a lot. And so it gets a little weird. But yeah, for what it is and the way they did it, I still think they did a phenomenal job. The bosses in this game are great. The monsters are just full of life. The characters are as well. The world is full of life. Obviously, what helps it are the graphics, gorgeous graphics, um, and yeah, it just everything about this game is so perfect. I love this game. I love it so much. It's fantastic, and it's my favorite. It's just my favorite. There's really not much else to say besides that. So, but yeah, that's basically it for uh, my list of my worst Dragon Quest games to my best Dragon Quest games list. Let me know what you guys think about this list. Again, I totally know some people do not agree with this at all, which I totally respect and understand. I have a very different opinion, but I will say, and again, I could be wrong, but I feel like I think a lot of people's top 5, top 3, or even favorite games might be based off of nostalgia more than actual, like, the actual game. But everyone has different tastes. I'm not saying my taste or my list is the correct one. I'm just saying that everyone has different opinions. This is what mine is, although my opinion is correct, obviously. But anyways, so yeah, so let me know what your top 11 looks like. And let me tell you this, I will say this right off the bat. I haven't played 10 yet at all. 10 could probably be my favorite game. I see that it's a lot of people's favorite game, or at least, in their top 5 or top 3. And I also know 10 is like 5 or 6 different Dragon Quest games in one. So it's kind of a tricky one at that. But anyways, this is my top 11 favorite Dragon Quest games from worst to best. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. If you didn't, also like and subscribe. And yeah, guys, so yeah, we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Dragon Quest Poppy. Peace!